Hello, this is IP Stories by 4IP Council, the podcast about innovation and intellectual property. Join us and you will hear about the journeys through invention, creation, and IP understanding of our guests.
Hi, I'm Magali.
And I'm Marta, and today we are happy to welcome to our podcast Inge Buffolo.
Inge is Director of Business Development at EUIPO. Hi, Inge, and welcome to IP Stories.
Yes, hello, Magali. Hello, Marta. It's really a great pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
Yeah, the pleasure is ours, and I think it would be great for our audience to know a little bit more about you. Before we talk about the EUIPO and the SME program that you lead. So we would like to know more about your background, and I understand that you are a telecommunications engineer by training, right?
Yes, it feels a bit strange because it feels like another life. So, when I was young, as many girls or boys, I did not really know what I want to do, what I want to go for. But I was very good in math. So, at that time, I decided then to study telecommunication. And already at that time, also, I liked creating something, creating results. So after I studied, I went also to write my thesis at a company called HP, Hewlett Packard. Maybe you still know it's a quite famous company for computer, and there I was able to really produce to design a product.
Mm-hmm.
And this product was then also, they liked it very much and they put it in their product line. So it was really sold. And you can imagine I was super proud as a very young student, just finishing with my university, and then to have already a product in the product line of Hewlett Packard. So, and then, well, I love programming. I loved this work, but at the end, I decided I didn't want to work as an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, already at that time, I had decided I would like to work outside Germany. And
Mm-hmm.
so I looked a little bit around, and I find shortly afterwards I got an offer from SES, and SES stays for Société Européenne de Satellites, which was in Luxembourg the first private satellite company. And they built up television streaming for using geostationary satellites. And this was again a totally different world. They liked that I had an engineering background, but basically I started as a business management assistant, and later I
Mm-hmm.
became a business administrator. So I was again in a very different world, and it was very exciting. And SES had a very important brand. This was the Astra television.
Mm-hmm.
Astra at that time was famous in all over Europe. So, and the company was truly multinational and growing very fast. So, and it was very exciting times. And this is a bit the common thread in my life, that I was always looking for challenges and trying to find new ways to find solutions, overcome obstacles. So this is a bit
Mm-hmm.
my background.
I mean, I love it because you went from engineering, and also it must have been such a hype to be in HP with this new product. I mean, it sounds really exciting. And then you sort of went into the business side, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I wonder at what point did IP come into the picture for you? You know, if there was any sort of like experience that made you realize that this was something that you would be interested in.
Yeah, actually, it's another part of my life, because, as I said, in SES, Astra was a very important brand, but and IP is very important in the space ecosystem, because you need to be very careful what technology you use, quality. So you have to sure that you have the originals, that you have really good products, because it can become very expensive if these systems fail in the orbit. But I was not really, as a business administrator, I was not really close to the IP management, let's say. And I got in contact for a very different reason. Actually, in '96, for family reason, we decided to come to Spain. And I had my first child. I had decided to make a break, a career break, a short one. And so we went to Spain. And actually, my idea was, I was still very linked to the space industry, to after some time to go back. I had some connections, and they said that is fine. When you are ready, you can come back to work. But then I learned it. Then I learned about the EU IPO, and they were looking for new people. They were quite, as you know, in the early years, growing very much. And in a way, I said, "Well, it's an international organization." I was interested. I loved Spain at that time, so I said, "Why to move away?"
I was gonna say, like, obviously you really liked Spain as
Yes,
well.
yes, it was definitely part of the decision that I said, because my
Mhm.
area in Alicante, there is no space industry. So, and this was that I decided to take it, and my journey at the UIPO started with that.
Exciting. That's amazing.
And that's very interesting. And thanks for sharing. And Inge, you have been for 20 years now with the IUIPO. So wearing many hats, from institutional relations to customer services, and now you are in business development. So what is this um, guiding thread that you have identified, let's say, across these roles? You already hinted something.
Yes, and this is a bit my character, and this is what I said. It's the challenge, and it's to find solutions. So, and actually, I'm 20 years with the EU IPO, and I always had the opportunity to go for new challenges. And I'm very, very grateful to have had this opportunity in an organization with all these different areas of activity. I never felt bored. After so many years in one organization, I honestly can say I had never the feeling that there would be a repetition in my work. And I had always the feeling I grow personally and also from a professional point of view. So, and it was very good that I started in the core business. So when I was, as I said before, when I came on board, I actually started in the core business, and I was there for quite 5 years. So I was really learning IP in detail. I was becoming an examiner. I was studying several times the in IP, so I really had a good basis. But then in some years later, actually it was around 2003, there was a new department set up, and it was called Quality Management Department. And this department was set up in order to run some transformational projects. Transformational projects. When I heard about it, I said, this must be for me. And what I did, of course, I went to the director at that time and I presented myself. So he didn't know about my background, and so I presented myself, and I was even then shortly after the creation of that department, I was taken on board of that department, and that was fantastic then for me, because I had the IP background already, and I could go back to run projects, and I got really interesting projects. Maybe some of you know. One of mine was TM Class. Actually, at that time, it was called Euroclass, and then it was changed. And this went on with others like TMView. I started TMView, the harmonized database, and I also started the convergence program. But the last part was already under Antonio Campinos, because after some time, as you know, I had several heads. I moved to ECLAT, which is the Institutional Collaboration and Legal Department. And there I worked already under Joao Negrão, our current executive director. Apart from that, I did quite a number of other jobs. I had the management board and budget committee. You know, these are our governing bodies. And I had the secretariat. I had user association. I had the liaison meeting, the technical meetings with the national IP offices. So I was allowed. I got a very holistic view of what is going on in the organization, of the different elements. And this is, of course, super interesting. And then I moved to the digital innovation department, and there I started to define. I was still asked to define the SME program. And in between, I got the director then of the customer department. I took the program with me, I moved department, but the program stayed with me, and then came COVID. And now I'm the director, as you said, from the business development. It's a continuation, but with a new focus on business development. But still, the SME program is with me. The SME website, the fund, and so on. And what is now added is the very exciting new one part, which is IP-backed finance. So that is a bit my journey at the EUIPO.
No wonder you haven't gotten bored in 20 years. I mean,
no, it was really always interesting.
Exactly. I mean, I must say, from our perspective, working as partners of the EUIPO, it's always very exciting to work with this organization. It's always growing, always innovating, always coming up with new programs that can be so exciting. So even from outside, we can tell that it's really a great place to work.
It's the culture, and that is fantastic about it. This is what I love of that organization. There is a real culture to innovate, to do new things, and that is motivating, challenging but motivating.
Exactly. So I would like to focus now a little bit more on your current role, directing business development on the customer department. So it would be great to know, like, what does a typical day or week look like for you, like, so that we can get a better idea of what sort of things you have to do.
Well, I would say, and I think it's no surprise, what is a big part of my day and my week are meetings. And I think we all try to reduce them, but reality always brings us back that we have too many of them, at least felt. And this is also in my case. I have many meetings, but on the other hand, I personally think meetings can, when they are well focused, they can be very good, because they give me also the opportunity to be with my people, particularly in my case, as we create a lot of new things. It's a fantastic way to innovate together. We do, for example, a lot of design thinking activities. So we are defining new strategies. What I said now, we are working in IP-backed finance, but also the fund, who is continuously every year evolving. So we are really there doing a lot of brainstorming, questioning each other and the others, other departments. Then we have to validate. Often we have to go back because we find an obstacle we cannot solve. So we have to go and look for other solutions. So there is a lot of discussions, which I really love, but a lot of meetings. So then in my role, I have a lot of conferences. Conferences, presentations, which again, I love that part. It's stressful. you have to be prepared. It's also normally a conference is on top of your running business, but it is what I love. It gives you the chance to getting out of Alicante and learning about new ecosystems. So, for example, I do not go often anymore like in earlier times to, for example, IP user associations, which was very interesting. But now, as I have a different approach, I go to conferences with young entrepreneurs, startups, or with policymakers, or now with the financial ecosystem. So these are all different, different people, ideas, discussion, and that makes it so exciting, and that also opens the mind. And I think what is super important when you want to help somebody, you need to understand the situation, and that you cannot understand from your desk or from your chair. You have to go out. We want to help SMEs. We have to go and also talk to them. We have really to understand their reality, the pain points, how they move within their ecosystem. So how can we reach them? And this is only possible in a direct exchange. So yeah, for example, in one of the things we learned, and we do a lot of studies, from our observatory, and we know that not all the SMEs protect their IP. So that we learn from the study and so on. And it was said when they were asked, because still many SMEs think that IP is complicated, it's very legal, and but also that they don't understand it.
Yeah.
So we need to go out and we need to explain it to them, and we need to explain it in a language they understand. And you are part of that, no? So we need to transform our language into their language. And it is important to go there and to validate, because you can sit and you can think you write it now easy, but you have actually to go to talk to see if it really arrives and that you really have made yourself understood. So this is a very important part. Another very important part is the networks we have. So there is one which is the network with the IP offices, which is it's very important, because you are in a way it's like an octopus, no? We are too far away, and the arms are really with the SMEs. They speak their language, they can help them directly, there is less difficulty to approach and all that. So this is why this network is so important and gives us so much outreach to the SMEs. So, and there we are also doing very nice things together. We are starting a European IP info center with the national offices. So this is very important. And then over the last years, we have also created the other new network. This is the Ideas Powered for Business network, and you are part of the network. And what is the great thing of this network? This network merges the IP parts together with the other ecosystems. So we have the accountants in this network. Well, I don't need to tell you, but for the listeners, we have the accountants, we have the business angels, we have crowdfunding, we have, of course, some SME associations like SME United or INSME, and now lately we have become the guarantee banks, then the micro financing banks. So this is really wonderful. And also EIT and SMEA. So this is a part of the commission, also those. And what we can do now is to connect these dots, to bring them all together. And also not only me, for example, us EUIPO with you, but also you with others. So what we really want is that everybody takes profit of this network and takes the most out of it for the benefit for the people. So this is another very, very important part of my work. This is this networking, creation, maintaining, and also bringing together and bringing the information to the SMEs via these network members. So I think this is a bit the main building blocks of my daily life.
That's very interesting, and it's a lot. So I do guess that how is your work so interesting, and it keeps you so busy. But from all the activities that you mentioned, I would like to stay with the SME Fund. I mean, you have led the EUIPO effort to support the SMEs Fund through indeed the program, and I wanted to know what is, I mean, more from the bottom, like what inspires you to champion that mission? What decides you to inspire you to that?
Well, I was tasked to make an SME program. So we started to think about we should really support better
Yeah.
SMEs. And with a small team already at that time, we started to analyze what help do SMEs need. And very quickly, what we found out is that it's quite difficult for SMEs to navigate through the different support systems. Uh, it's complex actually, and partially even us with my little team, we felt that it's not so easy. There is a lot outside in the world to help SMEs, but if you are confronted with, you have difficulties to know what is for me, what I have to do, how do I start, all these questions. And at that time when we defined it, there was quickly some main pillars we thought are super important. And the first one was the network, the new network, the ideas powered for business, like where you are. Then we also thought we need to concentrate the support services. So we started, this is maybe a longer journey, but one was that we try with the national offices to join our forces. And then we had the website we created, which was launched, the SME website. And then we also built that we need some very simple tools, like what we do is SME training material. What I said, we really had to rethink how we bring the message to the SMEs, or what we built up was a pro bono. We started. And then while we worked, a little team, we worked on that program we had defined, and then the pandemic came. So we had, the program was more or less approved, and the pandemic turned everything upside down. And we had, in that time, we were in discussions with the commission, and the idea was we need to do something. We need to help. We need to find something quickly. And that was then the idea of an SME fund was born. And that was in 2021. And it took us 6 months to set it up.
6 months doesn't sound like a lot of time.
No, it was fantastic. I mean, it was crazy a little bit because we were at the same time. This was the time where we had to work offline. You know, it was some insecurity also for some people, how to manage kids, working life, or loneliness, as all these things. So there, you were already as an organization in a transformation, and at the same time we started to set up this program. So 6 months was really a great achievement for many departments. We needed, of course, the IT department, we need the finance department. Many departments had also there to work together to bring it all with the commission and so on, to bring that really up and running. So we were really super happy that we were made it, and we started with a number of services. So we had already from the beginning a kind of an professional help service, which we call now is IP Scan. And then we had the ones to support applications in trademark designs, and also for patents. And so this was 21. And since then, we are in 25. We are still running it, and every year we are improving it. We try to learn from the feedback we get, and we bring in new services. So, for example, this we have also now plant varieties. That was an additional service we had added over time. Then we have also some legal support to make for patents, because we understood that this is a very difficult part. So we were able also with the Commission to add that, and so on. So the things were growing, and we are already decided, our management board, that we will have a 26th edition. So we are super happy. We are actually running to get that set up. And then we continue with this support.
Yeah, and I mean, as an IP lawyer that has worked with SME, I can tell that it's a very difficult task to try to translate, let's say,
Yeah.
complex IP concept into an understandable language. So I really praise you for that, because it's hard. And I would like to stay there. I mean, have you witnessed any success stories that you could share with us?
Yeah, we have some success stories, but I think the real success story of the SME Fund is that we managed to reach out to many SMEs. So we have, at the moment, we have helped already more than 130,000 SMEs. And what is
Wow.
the beauty in it? The majority of them are micro companies. These are the small ones which normally have no time, and even the money is for them very important to think or to run this IP part. So the majority is really micro companies, and almost 80% are really new. We can, via our TM View, we check if someone had already somewhere filed IP, and we can, from there we see that 80%, almost 80%, are totally new to the IP world, and this makes us particularly happy, because that was the purpose, to get the people closer to the IP system, to make them think, to help them, and yeah, to give them the tools at hand to grow. And what is then another part, which is the success, is the satisfaction rate. Because how can we, this is what I said, are we easy? We need to be easy with this help. These, they don't have time. This is very complex, and we have a satisfaction rate currently. It goes a little bit up and down, but at the moment it's at 96%. 96% is super encouraging for the teams, and it for us, we feel that it shows that the system is clear, that it is easy, and that they can really manage that. And that is maybe what I would like to emphasize, that actually the success is that we make SMEs starting to feel more confident that IP is part of their business journey, and not only for big companies or for rich companies which can afford, let's say, these very high costs and so on. And so, yeah, and the SME Fund is something what is also not to underestimate. It's a success story of collaboration, because what I said, it started with the 6 months, but there was already the Commission, us, and the national IP offices. They actually help us in finding the experts for the IP scans. So it's under there. But then also the Ideas Powered for Business Network member. You all have helped us, because it's not so easy to get out and find and to make that awareness.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
and now, after all these years, we see also we get the fruits of that support we got, because now it's much more known, and we see, and the success is growing without that we need to make growing efforts. So it's already a product which is well understood and known by, let's say, also the intermediaries, which then give that forward to this information to the SMEs. So we are super happy for that, and we are very thankful for all that help we have received from all the sides.
Yeah, it really is amazing. The all the companies that it has helped, and it's really encouraging to hear those numbers. So of course we will continue pushing it because everyone should find out. So I think it would be nice to establish, in case someone has any doubts on why are we talking so much about SMEs.
Yeah.
So I think the question would be, why do you think SMEs are such a vital driver of innovation and competitiveness in Europe?
Yeah. Yes, because you look around and many, of course, talk now about SMEs, no? And yeah, why SMEs? Well, we all know Europe is largely about SMEs. So just to think about, it's like caring for yourself. Because if we in Europe do not care about our SMEs, we will even lag behind more. You know, the Draghi report and so on. We know we have areas where we really have to improve, and in particular in this field of supporting SMEs. And then I think SMEs have many important characteristics. They are very flexible. They can very well adapt to new market situations. They can move faster than the very big ones. They can take up new ideas easier because they don't have these heavy structures like bigger companies have. And for that, they can be also more innovative in certain senses. And they can also work on niche challenges which are not taken up by bigger companies. And if you look all that, that makes them so important. And this is why I think we have to foster and to help them, because that will give us the market advantage, and that will give us this added value to the society, which we need. And for that, we have to give them the tools, and we as an organization, we want to help them to protect their innovation and to use their innovation for business growth. And this is the challenge, because SMEs on the other hand are also very this is a very demanding activity to be an SME, because you are small and you have to cover all the different elements of a big business journey. And what is super important is that the help is coming at the right time. Timing is super important, because they can, if you are not at the right moment with this information, it will not, they will not be able to consider it. And it comes back to a little bit what I said, we have to speak their language. It's not to ask them to understand us, we have to understand them. And that is the change. It's like when you go to the doctor, no, a little bit, and the doctor talks all this difficult language, and you don't really understand. And this has not to be like that. It has to be the other way around. The doctor, or we have to adapt ourselves to the language and to the environment of them in order to be able to help them.
Was thinking you have certainly done so many things throughout your career, and very varied and interesting. And what if you were to pick, let's say, of all these career milestone, which is the one that makes you the proudest, and why? And if you have had any challenge in the meantime, let's say, to achieve it.
Yes, Magali, it's a good question, and it's a very difficult question. I tell you why. For me as a person, the last challenge is always the present one. That's the one I'm thinking all the time. I'm the one, that's the one I'm burning for at the moment. So currently it's the SME Fund. Currently it's EPIC, the Ideas Powered for Business Network, and IP backed finance. So these are a little bit my areas where I'm constantly, there are new things, we are growing, we have ideas and so on. So thinking now overall, I would say, which really marked my personal growth, then I would say TMView. So TMView, why TMView? I think when we started, it was one of these projects where we really started to say we create with this network of national offices something for the benefits of the users, of our users. And it was not so easy. There were a lot questions, technical challenges. And what I loved, we as an organization and also the people, we did not give up. It was quite an exciting and intensive time. And the beauty is, since we did not give up, this tool has really become a game changer. It's a real, and it's not on mine. I know also this was then later taken over by another team around José Izquierdo, and they have made it a real a global tool. TeamView is now a global tool. It has all over the world the databases of all over the world, and that is fantastic. This is so good, and it also triggered then the organization, the national offices, all they were also confident to know that other tools could be done. There came design view and others were then. So once you have brought the stone rolling, it was able to bring many more initiatives and tools also on its way. So this is why it still stays sometimes in my mind as one of my personal career marking points.
I'm afraid we are reaching the end of the interview. However, I have one final question for you, Inge. So I think it would be great if you could give one key message for entrepreneurs listening to this podcast regarding IP and innovation. So what would you like to tell them?
A lot, but to bring it really short, I would say, and to look from my side, I think IP is important. Don't put it aside. I know it's hard sometimes. So my next thing is look for help. And the little time you upfront spend to find the right help can save you a lot of time and effort afterwards. So and then the third one, it's about the focus. When you are an entrepreneur and a startup, you love your baby. You love your your invention, and you spend often a lot of time to make it even a bit better. And the things you less like, whether it's administration or what, and unfortunately often IP, you put a little bit apart, and that can be very risky, and that can be then later very bad for the business growth. So stay focused, also take it into consideration, and then it can help you to grow your business and to use it for expansion. So this would be my recommendation.
And make use of all the different advantages and services offered by the EUIPO, because I think that's a must and can make their lives so much easier. So yeah, thank you so much, Inge. That was great, and it's been such a pleasure to have this chat with you today.
Thank you to you, Marta and Magali. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to IP Stories by 4IP Council. Visit our website on 4ipcouncil.eu to find out more and check out the links mentioned during this episode. If you liked it, remember to share and subscribe.